Week 15 of the fantasy football season. And here's a few tight ends I have as sleeper options this week. The first guy, Jeff Driscoll of the Houston Texans. So yes, I know Jeff Driscoll's a quarterback, but in Yahoo Fantasy Leagues, and I don't know if in ESPN as well, he qualifies as a tight end. So last week, him and Davis Mills were splitting snaps at the quarterback position. Last week at the Cowboys, 38 pass yards, a touchdown, and 7 carries as well for 36 yards. So this week here, they're going to try to pull out a lot of bag of tricks. Is this Houston Texan team versus Kansas City offense is probably the best in the league or a top 3 offense in the league. But anyway, they give up the 3rd most fantasy points to quarterback tight end combo here. So Driscoll, I think he's going to get some carries in this game, take it himself. And he's even going to throw the ball a little bit. And what does this Texan team have to lose? Using some garbage plays and switching up and throwing the Chiefs off at the quarterback position. So we saw last week they threw the Cowboys off for the most part, the first few quarters of the game. And I think this week here we could see a little bit of more. So Driscoll right now available in 82% of fantasy leagues. And he's a guy that qualifies at tight end. Next guy is Gozmo Akunko of the Tennessee Titans. I definitely butchered the name, but anyway, he's a guy that could go out there and help fantasy owners right now. And he did it last week. We saw reports come out he was going to get more snaps, more targets his way, and that definitely was the case. And with Traylon Burks possibly out once again with a concussion in this game, Okonkwo, he's going to get more targets once again, and a guy can contribute. Week 12 versus the Bengals, 3 catches, 35 yards. Week 13 at Philly, 4 catches, 68 yards. And Week 14 versus the Jaguars, 6 catches, 45 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. So right now, still out there in 75% of fantasy leagues here. He definitely can help owners, and it could be a ball game where they're trailing once again and chasing points here is Tennessee. So he's a guy that I have as a sleeper this week. In the 3rd and final tight end I have as a sleeper this week, Cade Otton of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Cade Otton, he's been on this list a whole bunch this season here, and the Tampa Bay Bucs have gone his way now. Moreover, Cameron Brate of a guy getting more snaps and more playing time. So the last few weeks here for Otton, Week 12 at the Browns, a goose egg. Week 13 versus New Orleans, 6 catches, 28 yards, and a game-winning touchdown towards the end of the ball game. And then Week 14 at San Francisco, 4 catches, 28 yards. So this week here, Cincinnati Bengals come to town to Tampa Bay here, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to tight ends on the season. So right now, Cade Otton available in 91% of fantasy leagues. Tight ends a very weak position besides the top 4, top 5 guys this season here. And he's on an offense where obviously they're going to throw the football a lot. And in a game that could be a potential shootout or them even chasing points versus the Bengals this week. So if you're desperate for a tight end this week, I think Otton could be a decent sleeper option this week. So that's a few tight ends I have as sleepers for Week 15 of the fantasy football season.